This is Sarah Mitchell, right? Are you ready for your final interview tomorrow? How's your mental preparation for this?
I'm sorry, who is this? I received your message, but I don't have this number saved on my phone.
What? You don't have this number saved? You've gone through multiple rounds of interviews with us and you don't recognize who this could be?
I apologize, but it's for security reasons. I don't respond to unsaved numbers without verification. Could you please identify yourself before we continue the conversation?
And you still think you're serious about working at our bank? This kind of caution might be good for banking, but it's quite cold, don't you think?
You're from the bank that I've been interviewing with, I assume? I just want to be certain who I'm speaking with.
Of course I'm from the bank. Did you think this was just a random message? I specifically looked up your contact information to help you with the next step.
I appreciate that, but could you please tell me your name and position? It would help me understand the context of this conversation better.
This is Parker. I was one of your interviewers last week. I'm the HR director, so I'll be at your final interview tomorrow, too. We're looking forward to seeing you again. You were quite impressive in the previous rounds.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your name and your contact info. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. Thank you so much for reaching out.
That's it? Just thank you for reaching out? After I took time from my Sunday evening to text you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Was there anything wrong? What do you mean? I genuinely appreciate you checking in on me before the interview.
Do you know how many candidates we're interviewing for this role? How many applications I had to review for this? I chose to reach out to you personally and all you say is thank you?
I understand this is a competitive position. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to interview again. Was there something specific you wanted to discuss with me about tomorrow?
I reached out to help support you for tomorrow's final interview. I'm being so kind to you and all I get is a simple thank you? Most candidates would be more enthusiastic about this kind of personal attention from their interviewer.
I apologize if I seemed ungrateful about this. What would be the appropriate way to show my appreciation? I want to make sure I understand your expectations.
You're quite formal in your messages. Almost too formal if you ask me. We should fix that before tomorrow. The banking industry is all about personal connections.
I see. How would you suggest I adjust my communication style?
Well, for starters, you could be more friendly. You can be more open to building relationships. After all, your future career might depend on it.
I try to maintain professional boundaries with my interviewers, especially during the interview process. I hope you understand.
Professional boundaries, is that what you call it? I'm trying to help you here. Do you know how many candidates would love this kind of personal attention?
I appreciate your interest in helping me succeed, but I'd prefer to focus on the formal interview process. Could you tell me more about what to expect tomorrow?
You're always so proper, so careful with your words. I'm free tomorrow night. I could give you a private interview if you'd like.
A private interview? I'm sorry, I really don't understand what you mean. Could you clarify the purpose of this private interview?
Let's say you make some mistakes in tomorrow's final interview. This would be a follow-up private interview to make up for that. Think of it as insurance. A backup plan. Everyone needs one of those, right?
I see. So that's what you mean. You're suggesting an unofficial interview after hours outside of the office?
Don't make it sound so formal. Just see it as two professionals having a conversation. Just building connections. That's how the real world works. You do want to work in the real world, don't you?
The real world also has professional standards. and ethical guidelines, which I intend to follow no matter which company I interview for.
You sound just like those HR training videos. All rules and no flexibility. Is that really how you want to start your career?
I believe following proper procedures is important, especially in banking. Wouldn't you agree?
That's such a serious response. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be. I'm offering to help you to ensure you get this position. To mentor you. Guide your career so you can be successful.
So you're assuming I'll make mistakes? I appreciate your concern, but that won't be necessary. I plan to be myself and speak honestly during the interview, so please don't worry about that. While I appreciate the offer of follow-up support, I'd prefer to handle things like this on my own.
Handle things on your own? That's quite presumptuous. You think you can succeed in banking alone? Without any support? Without any friends?
I believe in building professional relationships through appropriate channels, during business hours, in professional settings, not outside or after hours.
Pretty bold talk for someone who's about to get rejected for this role. Very bold indeed. Almost arrogant, I'd say.
Is that a threat towards me?
A threat? Why would I threaten you? I told you I'm the HR director, right? I have the final say in all hiring decisions for all the candidates. And are you sure about this? About taking this tone with me?
What exactly do you mean? It feels like you're just trying to pressure me. Are you saying I won't get an offer unless I spend evening hours with you outside of work? I want to be very clear about what's being suggested here.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I never said anything about offers or conditions. I can't say that explicitly, but you should think carefully about what this means. All I can say is that your decision now will affect your future career. Not just at our bank, but in the industry. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true of any decision, isn't it? Every choice affects our future somehow. I'm sorry, but I have plans tomorrow evening, and I don't think it's appropriate to meet privately with anyone before officially starting work, so I'll have to decline. I hope you understand my position.
Plans! Unbelievable! You have something more important than your career? Than your future? More important than this opportunity I'm offering you?
I've explained my position already, and my mind will not change. I've told you clearly and professionally. I don't think there's anything more to discuss right now.
Don't blame me for what happens in tomorrow's interview, then. I had no idea you were this unprofessional, this ungrateful, this naive. You're going to regret this, I can promise you that. Mark my words.
I don't understand what you mean by that, but I don't think I've said anything inappropriate to you, so I'll be fine. Thank you for your concern and attention. I look forward to a professional interview tomorrow.
Professional? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. A true professional would understand the importance of networking, of building relationships, of taking opportunities when they're offered.
I understand the importance of networking and building relationships, but they should be based on mutual respect and professional boundaries.
Professional boundaries again. You really are something else. We'll see how far those boundaries get you. We'll see indeed. This is beyond unprofessional. Your attitude is very concerning. How did you even make it to the final round of the interview process? You're not listening to what I say. You're rejecting good advice, and you still want to work at our bank?
I'm preparing for tomorrow's interview. I would appreciate some space to focus so I can prepare for it.
Space? You want space? When I'm trying to help you? Are you hiding something? Is there something in your background check I should know about?
Nothing to hide. My qualifications are all in my application. Everything is properly documented for you guys to see.
Properly documented? There's more to success than just documents. Much more. But you don't seem to understand that.
I understand perfectly well. I just disagree with your methods.
My methods? I'm offering you invaluable guidance, industry insights, career advancement opportunities, and you're questioning my methods?
I don't question your position or authority. Just the appropriateness of this conversation, especially at this hour.
This hour? Banking never sleeps. We work all hours of every day. That's what you're signing up for. Or did you think this was a 9-to-5 job?
I understand the demands of the industry, but this isn't about work hours. This is about appropriate professional conduct.
You keep saying appropriate and professional, like some kind of robot. Is that what you think banking is? Following rule books?
I don't understand what you're implying. It's getting late, so I should go. Thank you for contacting me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's interview.
Going so soon? When I'm trying to have a serious discussion about your future? Your career? Is it not important to you?
Yes, I need to rest before the interview tomorrow. I want to be at my best for the interview.
Your best? You've got some nerve coming to our interviews, acting all proper and professional when you're hiding things.
Hiding things? What exactly are you suggesting?
Your background, your family situation. Didn't think that would come up, did you? Didn't think we'd check thoroughly?
My family situation? I don't see how that's relevant to interview for this position.
Of course! Everything is relevant. Everything matters in banking. Especially background. Especially family. Didn't expect some poor kid from a broken home trying to sneak into our ranks. Did you?
Wow, you really went there. Your behavior hasn't been very professional either. Is this how you treat all candidates when they interview with your company?
Don't turn this around on me! What would a college student know about being professional? You're the one being completely unprofessional here, hiding your background, pretending to be something you're not!
I haven't hidden anything about my background. My application is completely honest. There are no lies on it, including my family background.
Honest? As if some bottom feeder from a single-parent household could work at our prestigious bank? You should have mentioned this earlier. Saved everyone's time.
The way you completely changed when you found out I'm from a single-parent home? Is this really how a major bank's HR director should act? Should candidates be judged on family status?
Don't lecture me about judgment. Poor people don't get hired here, period. That's just how it works. I'd love to see your parents' faces when they realize that their kid won't make it. You unprofessional brat.
I'm saving all these messages. All of them. Just so you know.
Save whatever you want. I don't care what you do. No one will believe you. It's your word against mine. And who do you think they'll believe? The HR director or some random candidate that happens to get to the final round of the interview process?
Are you aware of how disrespectful you're being? This is beyond inappropriate, but you should really think about what you're doing. Actions have consequences.
Consequences? No bank will hire you! Not after I'm done! Why did you even apply here? What made you think you belonged?
I applied because I'm qualified for this role. My family status doesn't change that.
Qualified? On paper, maybe. But there's more to banking than grades. More to success than test scores. Aren't you ashamed of being poor? Of coming from a broken home?
Your taunting is getting really unprofessional. You seem very confident in your position. Does being an HR director at a major bank give you the right to damage people's reputations? To discriminate based on family status?
Whatever, say what you want, none of it matters to me. You rejected my generous offer. My attempt to help you. At the end of the day, I have the final word to say who gets hired and who gets rejected. This is why I hate poor people. Always playing the victim. You're clearly unprofessional and definitely not getting hired. What a waste of time this has been. Should have checked your background first, before wasting everyone's time.
Are you finished? Or is there more discrimination you'd like to share?
I'd really love to see your parents' faces when they hear about this. When they realize their kid failed. Must be quite something to raise such an unprofessional daughter in such a broken home.
Maybe you should tone down the bullying towards the candidates. You seem to be having fun insulting my father, but you're going to regret this. More than you know.
Regret? No way! I don't want anything to do with poor people anyway, so this worked out. If you'd accepted my invitation, I might have considered you, but I guess that was too complicated for someone so unprofessional. Someone from your background.
You keep using that word, unprofessional. But everything you've done tonight is unprofessional. Everything you've said is inappropriate.
Save your lectures. A troubled family sneaking into our final interviews. Did you think we wouldn't find out? You're rejected. Don't bother showing up tomorrow. I really would love to see your parents' faces. To tell them personally why their kid failed.
Well, if you're so interested in meeting my father...
What's that supposed to mean? Another threat? From someone in your position?
Okay then, I'll just call my dad for you. Since you're so eager to meet him.
Please do! I'd love to explain to him why his daughter isn't cut out for banking. Why she doesn't belong here.
He says he can come see you in about an hour. I'm looking forward to you meeting my father. He's quite interested in this conversation.
What? An hour? Wait, who exactly is your father? What do you mean he's coming?
You wanted to meet him, right? You mentioned it several times in our texts. He's eager to discuss your hiring practices.
Now, hold on a minute. There's no need to escalate this. Let's discuss this professionally, like adults.
Professionally? Now you want to be professional? After everything you've said to me?
Perhaps I was a bit harsh earlier. The stress of hiring season, you understand, right? We could start fresh tomorrow. Forget this conversation ever happened.
It's too late for that. My father's already on his way to come meet you. Particularly interested in your comments about bottom feeders.
Listen, Sarah. I may have spoken out of turn. I said some things I didn't mean. Heat of the moment, you know?
Interesting how your tone has changed. You sound nervous. Is something wrong?
Sarah, could we possibly redo the final interview? I deeply apologize for my previous behavior. I regret my disrespectful comments. Please let me conduct another interview. A proper one this time.
No thanks. I thought I was just a poor kid from a broken home. Why the sudden change of heart?
About that, I was completely out of line. Those comments were unprofessional. Please, let's start over. I'll make it right.
Make it right? After threatening my career? After mocking my family? After trying to force a private meeting?
Why not give me a chance to apologize? I'll make sure you get the job. Just please come back. We can forget this whole thing. Start fresh tomorrow.
No thanks. I have no interest in seeing your face again. You're too disrespectful and unpleasant, and I don't like that calculating look in your eyes, so I don't see any value in meeting again. Besides, my father is very interested in meeting you.
Your father? Who exactly is he? What department does he work in?
Oh, now you want details? Now you're interested in my background?
Please, Sarah, let's be reasonable. Please don't say that. I'll apologize for my bad behavior. Formally, in writing, whatever you want.
I see you've met my father. I introduced him just like you wanted. Satisfied? My father's an executive VP that everyone at the bank knows. Still think I'm a bottom feeder from a troubled home? Do you still want to mock our family's status?
Not at all! I had no idea you were Mr. Mitchell's daughter! This is all a terrible misunderstanding. If I had known...
If you had known. So it's only okay to harass candidates if their fathers aren't executives? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant! You look pretty pale after meeting my dad. Did he show you the messages?
All of them. Every single one. I just did what you asked and introduced my wonderful father. Hope you now understand just how disrespectful you were. How inappropriate your behavior was.
Please, let me apologize on my knees. I just apologized to Mr. Mitchell, and he immediately said, I'm fired. Of course, I know it's not that simple to fire someone, but this will destroy my position in the company. Could you please talk to your father? Put in a good word. Explain it was all a misunderstanding?
A misunderstanding? Which part? The harassment? The discrimination? The threats?
I was just trying to help you through the hiring process, to mentor promising candidates. Your father must understand that.
Help? By demanding private meetings after hours? By threatening my career? By mocking my family background?
Please, Sarah, think about my position, my career, my family! Please, talk to your father and tell him it was all a misunderstanding.
Oh, now you care about families. Now that it's your family at stake? How ironic.
I can make this right. Just give me a chance. Tell your father it was a joke. A test, maybe. Anything.
No. You made your choices. Now face the consequences. Just like you said, every decision affects our future, right?
No, that's not it at all! Please, let me explain everything. I was just trying to encourage nervous candidates. I had no ulterior motives whatsoever. Your father needs to understand this. Please talk to him.
Really? Then why did you only contact female candidates? Interesting pattern there.
That's not true! I mentor many candidates. All kinds of candidates. This is a huge misunderstanding.
Is that why the other women at today's final interview said they got messages from you too? All with similar generous offers. Similar private meetings. Some pattern that you use, wouldn't you say?
They're lying. This is a conspiracy! They're just trying to cause trouble!
I have their messages also. All the screenshots. And all the timestamps. This isn't the first time you've done this, is it? That's a complete abuse of power. Getting fired is the least of what you deserve. Actually, you might be lucky if firing is all that happens.
What do you mean? What are you saying? What's happening? I can't lose my job over something small like this.
Over this. For us job seekers, this search is our life's battle, our future, our careers. Using our vulnerable position for your own purposes, aren't you the lowest? This isn't just some small thing.
Please, you don't understand. I'm sorry. That was poorly worded. But I really didn't mean it that way. So could you please explain that to your father? It's all a misunderstanding. I can't lose my job over a misunderstanding. I worked so hard to become HR director. 20 years in this industry.
You should have thought about that before. Before the harassment. Before the discrimination. Before preying on your candidates.
I wasn't preying on anyone. I was just networking. I was building relationships. That's just how business works.
Is that what you call it? Threatening all these people's careers? Demanding private meetings outside of the office? Mocking their family backgrounds?
I understand. I apologize. I'm sorry for everything that I've said. You're absolutely right. Sarah, I am truly sorry. If needed, I'll get on my knees right now. Anything you want. Can you forgive me? Please?
This isn't about forgiveness. It's over as far as I'm concerned. The investigation will handle everything else.
Investigation? What investigation? What do you mean it's over? I'm about to lose my entire career over this stupid thing. How can you say it's over? Don't you understand what's at stake?
Your true colors are showing again. What do you mean by stupid thing? I've told you multiple times this isn't stupid to us. To any of the candidates you've harassed. Since you clearly don't get it, I'm done here. Goodbye.
Wait! Another poor choice of words! I'm really sorry. Look, I'll make sure you get hired here, so please just come back for a moment. I want to apologize to you in person and make this right.
I've said multiple times I don't want to see your face again. Besides, whatever you say, I'm already sent to work there anyway. Obviously. Of course I worked hard and made it this far on my own merit, but now that you know I'm Mitchell's daughter, who would dare reject me? I don't need any help from you. I never did.
What? No way! But what? So I'm really getting fired over some text messages?
No, you are getting fired over harassment, over discrimination, over abuse of power, for preying on your candidates. The texts are just evidence that we can use against you.
Please, just give me one more chance. I'll do anything. Change departments. Take a demotion. Anything, please. Just don't fire me.
Yep, that's not my problem. Later, creepy old perv. Reflect on your actions forever. And remember, karma always comes around.
Wait, you can't just leave it like this. At least hear me out. I have a family too. Children to support.
Oh, now you want to talk about family? After mocking mine and saying terrible things to me? After using family status to discriminate?
Please, I'm begging you. Just give me 5 minutes. Face to face. Let me explain everything, please.
You've explained enough already. Through all these messages. every threat, every insult, every attempt at coercion. There's no need for further conversation.
Those messages were a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. The pressure of hiring season, the stress of the job.
Interesting. So stress makes you harass candidates? Pressure makes you discriminate? Is that your defense?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm a good person. Ask anyone in the industry. 20 years of service, perfect record.
Perfect record? The other candidates might disagree. The ones you've been messaging. The ones you've been threatening. The ones you've been meeting privately.
Those were professional meetings. Mentoring sessions. Career guidance. Nothing inappropriate.
Save it for the investigation. I'm sure they'll be very interested in your mentoring methods, in your expense reports, in your message history.
Please, I'll do anything. Name your price, whatever you want.
And now trying to bribe me because you know who my father is? You really don't learn, do you? You keep digging that hole deeper. I'm sure the investigators will love this too.
Don't twist my words. I'm just trying to make things right. To fix this. To save my career.
Your career? That's all you care about? Not the people you've hurt? Not the lives you've affected? Not the trust you've betrayed?
I can change. Give me a chance. I'll prove it. I'll be a better person.
Too late for that. Way too late. Actions have consequences. Time to face yours.
You're destroying me. Over some text messages? This isn't fair. You're ruining everything.
No, you destroyed yourself. With every threat, every insult, every abuse of power. I'm just showing people who you really are.
You don't understand. This job is everything to me. My whole life. My identity.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you need to lose it all. To understand what you've done. To see how it feels. To be powerless. To be at someone else's mercy.
Please, just one more chance. I'm begging you.
Goodbye, Mr. Parker. Enjoy unemployment. And remember, every time you apply for a job, every time you face rejection, every time you feel powerless, remember how you treated others when you had the power.
Sarah, please!
In the end, investigations revealed that Parker had a history of contacting candidates and trying to force inappropriate relationships using company funds. He was reported to the police and obviously fired from the bank. Information was circulated throughout the banking industry to prevent him from ever working in the field again. The police involvement and permanent industry blacklisting led to him losing his career. He had to pay compensation to the bank and apologize to his previous victims. Sarah doesn't care what happened to him after that. Parker deeply regrets his actions now that he's hit rock bottom, but it's far too late. Apparently, he's enjoying his new life as a bottom feeder now.
Are you running your own bar right now, Paige? It's a bit strange for a woman to have her own bar that she manages, right? Could this be one of those girls' bar type places where only women are hired to attract more men in? I wouldn't be upset with you or anything for doing something like that. but I just never saw you as the person who would start a business doing that. Trudy? It's been a while. You're right. I have my own bar that I'm managing. It's a bar where I like to serve up more sports bar type foods, while also keeping the cocktails and such a bit more classy. So please, don't think of it as anything sexual like that, all right? I'm actually putting almost all my time into the place right now and have a lot of dignity in the place I've created. Oh? Well then, next time we have a class reunion, I'll make sure we throw it there. This will be for all our class from back in the day, so I can start asking all of them if they'd like to come. It's been a while since all of us have seen one another, so I think it'd be a great idea and loads of fun. That's all fine, but having that many people showing up to my bar might not actually work. Especially since I haven't talked to most of the people from back in school for so long now, and a lot of them might have moved away. We'd also have to work on reaching out to every single person from our class that is still close to us, and then work on actually getting my bar set up for all of them to come and party there. I have a lot of tables, but maybe not as many as we need. You can leave all that to me. I'll make sure everything is all ready for the reunion. And hey, you know about how I'm a pretty popular girl, right? So I'm sure everyone will know about the reunion soon enough, and I won't even have to go through the troubles of inviting each and every person. I just want you to do what you do there at that bar and get the food and drinks ready for us. Are you sure? Isn't that going to be a lot of work for you then? Maybe ask a couple of your closer friends to come and help you out. I guess I could do that. Well then, let me see if Connor would like to come and help me out. What? Didn't you used to like Connor a lot back when we were all in school? I'm sure you'll love being able to see him again if he comes to the reunion. Come on now, Trudy. I told you back then I was never really that into him. Connor and I were just casual friends and nothing more. And back in those days, I happened to have another man that I was really in love with. I'm sure you knew that yourself too, so please stop it with this whole thing again. Sure. Well, all of that was years ago now, so don't feel like I hold anything against you for it, all right? I'm sure that you are much more mature now, and that there won't be anything going on between us anymore, right? Of course, back then I was really up in arms about you, thinking that you were a complete witch. But that was only because you knew that I liked him, but continued to hang out with him all the time. But here's the thing, I wasn't around him because I liked him like that. I was around him all the time because he became a good friend of mine, and happened to hang out with the guy I had been crushing on. The fact that Connor didn't want to go out with you when you confessed to him is a completely different story, all right? It has nothing to do with me, and you should know that by now. So, can we stop talking about it and get back to planning things for the reunion you want to have? I know all about it, Paige. About your games behind the scenes. Connor and I were doing so well together before you came along. And the reason he ended up saying no to me must have been because of something you did. And I think what you did made him like you more than me. And that's not something I took lightly back in those days. I get that him and I were pretty close to one another then. But the only reason him and I ever really became friends is because back then I had a crush on his buddy Matt. And so I was always around Connor while around Matt. I was aware that you had a crush on Connor at the time, and didn't mean to keep him away from you. Was I ever trying to push you away from him? No. Did I ever at any point say that I was going out with him then? No. So just leave it be already. There we go. So you were with Connor all the time even though I wanted him. You really are the worst of the worst. If you saw that I wanted him to be my boyfriend, then why be around him all the time taking his eyes off me? I told you it wasn't like that. I never made any moves for Connor. Why don't you go and ask him about it if you're so concerned still? I'm sure he'd be more than happy to tell you what happened back then and why he never said yes to you. What? So you're telling me you never knew you were taking him away from me? Well, that just means you're a complete witch then, so it's confirmed. You're a terrible person and shouldn't be able to get away with that. I don't think you're even listening to me. Well, all of that is in the past now, right? And we no longer have anything against one another anymore from then. So let's get back on track and think about having this class reunion at your bar. When I've gone out and asked everyone, I'll give you an update and the head count. All right, thank you. You were really stressing me out there for a second, so I hope you're honest about not holding anything against me anymore.
Paige, long time no see. I'm sure you've already heard from Trudy about the class reunion she wants to throw, right?
Connor? How's it been going with you? As for the reunion, she says she wants around 70 people to come. That surprised me quite a bit. I don't think she understands how everyone feels about her after so many years have gone by. Does she even have half of their contact information?
I never really thought she, out of anyone, would want that many people coming. I'm surprised myself here.
You and her went out to start asking people, right? I'm sure it's been a struggle for you having to be around her all the time again, but thank you for doing that.
It wasn't that bad for me, actually. I still happen to be friends with a lot of guys from school, and so I asked them to help us round people up as well. But on Trudy's end, I'm not sure she was really able to convince anyone to come yet. I'm sure she will at least get a few people that she knows to come.
I see. So you guys are still really close to one another then?
I go out a lot still with Matt to get lunch and such. He said he'll be coming to the class reunion as well. He hasn't changed a bit since school, if that matters at all to you or not.
Is that right? Well then, him and I should be able to talk to one another like we always did.
I'm sure you'll be able to talk with me the same way as well, right? To be honest, I'm still really sorry about what happened back then. I can tell I was still a child then, and I'm glad I've finally grown up now. The whole reason you and Matt were never able to be a thing is all my fault, right?
Would you stop that? That's all in the past now, all right? I don't blame you for any of what went on then.
But right as you were about to start talking to Matt about your feelings, I was confessed to by Trudy. And I let it happen, right there in front of you both. I feel so selfish for doing that to you. I'm so sorry, Paige.
I told you not to apologize for that. I myself never thought something like that would happen right then. You and her had always been a bit strange with one another, but I'm thankful you always stuck around me and Matt while having to deal with Trudy.
But actually, back then I was kind of into the both of you at the same time. Had I not let what happened happen, then maybe you and Matt would have been able to date. That's how I felt about the situation ever since.
Huh? Really? Wait, I never knew that you had feelings for me as well. Are you alright? If something like that gets out, you might be making Matt pretty upset with you.
Well, that was all a long time ago, right? We're both able to talk about things like that while laughing. He's even told me that he's really looking forward to seeing you at the event.
Wow, I'm a little bit nervous now. I'm really looking forward to seeing him myself.
I hope you're looking forward to seeing me as well, though.
Of course I'm excited to see you too. You and I haven't really talked in ages, so it'll be nice to see how you've been and catch up. I'll make sure to make up some extra special foods for you then as well. I hope you'll enjoy all of it.
Wait, you work at that Italian restaurant now? Are you working part-time there or something?
Huh? What are you talking about? I thought that this class reunion we're going to have would be taking place at my bar that I run. Since I'm the one running it, Trudy said it would be easier to have an even there since I can make the place private for the day.
Huh? But the restaurant that Trudy sent me a link to where she reserved courses at dinner is an Italian restaurant. What is going on here?
That idiot. I see what's going on here now. She told me that she had nothing against me now, but that's not true at all.
Wait, what's going on here, Paige? What's she planning on doing here?
I'll explain that to you in just a bit. Ah, this is not good. I'm going to be late. I'm sure that everyone is already there and ready to party, right? I'm sure right now you're freaking out, right? Oh, hi, Trudy. I was just thinking about sending you a message about this. I'm glad you thought the same thing. I'm sure you're freaking out over the fact that nobody's come to your bar yet, right? Well, that's because I'm going to have to cancel that reservation I had there for 70 people. I actually really hate your freaking guts still, so I wanted to make sure to take down your bar in one swift move. So that's why nobody's even shown up yet. But we're all here having a great time right now. Thank you for getting me all these people to come and enjoy my bar's drinks and cooking. Today, I think I might make enough in profits to be able to take all of next month off. What? What are you talking about? I knew about your plans to try and hurt me, so I made sure to make a solution to that right away before the day of the reunion. So that's why the only person that's going to be left in pain is you, Trudy. All of the people you and Connor invited have all showed up to my bar and are having a great time. Huh? There's no way that's the case. I already went ahead and told everyone that the event would be taking place at this Italian restaurant that I booked. I have a reservation there for 70 people to get course dinners and serve them tonight. And that's what I heard. But after talking to everyone myself about what's happened, they all understood the situation and decided to come to my bar instead. What did you say? I'm surprised everyone is just as friendly with me as I remember. All I had to do was talk to a few of them, and the news of what you were up to spread like wildfire. I really didn't have to do a whole lot to get them to come here. Connor even came and helped me out, and the transition was so smooth. Connor went and helped you out as well? Are you telling me that even now you and him are still a thing? Come on, Trudy. I've already told you so many times now that him and I were never a thing. Him and I always have been close friends, and so even now, him and I were able to talk to one another like friends. And well, as we were talking a little while back, he mentioned something that made me realize what you were up to. Connor realized that you still had not grown up and chose to come and help me instead. So, in other words, you're saying that Connor now thinks of me as a bad person? I'm thinking that everyone at this reunion now thinks of you as a bad person, or at least worse than you were back in school. You're like the same old schoolgirl that you were years ago, never maturing and staying the exact same way. I sort of feel bad for you for never being able to grow out of your kids' clothing. Well, if you've not been told this already, holding on to your past like that and trying to hurt me still is not something that will treat you well in your adult years. Why the hell is this happening? The fact that Connor has gone to your side on this matter means that he is definitely your boyfriend. I'm sure you both have been together ever since school and never broke up. So now you think you can mess with me because I was never able to be with him? You're a jerk, you absolute witch. No. Are you ever going to listen to anything anyone ever says to you? You were the one planning to mess with me first by making this reservation at my bar and then canceling it last minute. The only person who has been a witch is you. And it's not just Connor that's on my side, but everyone else from school. No frickin' way. Why did you even figure out my plan? I bet you hated the idea of me being able to throw a reunion with the help of Connor and did something to win him over to you again. I've been fooled for the last time. Come on. You are not listening to me, Trudy. He was the one to contact me first about all of this, and him and I wouldn't have never had anything together because he's already married now. He never had any plans of making things happen with you either. Huh? Connor? He's married currently? Yes, he's both married and has kids of his own now. That means no matter what you expected to happen, he wasn't going to do anything with you. And actually, Connor kind of hates you still, especially now. That's a straight up lie. Connor and I used to always be so close to one another in school. And when him and I were getting people to come to the reunion, we both worked so well together as a couple. He was so happy to be with me inviting all those people. And there it is. You are just too far lost in this dream world of yours. Connor just happens to be a nice guy and wanted to help you set up the class reunion. That's all. He happens to have a lot of friends from school still, so he thought it would help you out a lot having him around. None of his help had anything to do with him wanting to take things further with you or anything. That's just what you want to keep believing, right? He would never say that he hates me like you've said. But right now, Connor is standing right next to me. He's been looking at my phone while I text you, and he's been laughing about it. What? You're lying. What does Connor really think of me then? He thinks of you as just another rude witch. You would always try to confess to him in school, no matter how many times he told you no. And even now he sort of feels as though you've been stalking him or something. I think he really does not care for you at all, Trudy, so just let him go. He would. He would never say something to me like that about me. But he's saying that about you right now. But if you really want to hear it from him, then why don't you just talk to him? I have no reason to really know about any of this since it's between you both. I don't care about who you're into or about who you think likes you back. I have a life of my own and always have had one, and it's never revolved around you trying to get with Connor. No way. Connor? He's really thought of me like that then? I always thought that him and I were so close to one another. But you have ended up getting in the way of us once again, causing the love that we had for each other to die out. No, I have not. I just happened to hang out with Connor a lot as a friend, and it was only because I happened to really like his friend Matt a lot. And even if he did start to like me or me him, I'm sure we would rather just be friends than anything else. So whatever you think's been happening between us has never actually been true.
But look, you got in the way of him and I. You made him look away from me and towards you. That's why he ended up liking you over me and wanting to hang out with you more and more.
God, this is so stupid. I only ever started to hang out with Connor because I liked Matt. And I never did anything else to make him like me any. He was well aware that you liked him, but he had other things going on that kept him away from you. So please, stop thinking of things like that.
But in the end, he never went out with me. Because of you, my love for him was never cared for.
That had nothing to do with me. Rather, it was all because you made him hate you. So stop blaming for your lack of being a good person, all right? It's childish. Also, you happen to be hated by a lot of people in school. All of the girls in our class hated you, right? Well, a lot of the guys started to see that and were wondering why people didn't like you.
What? A lot of the girls in our class hated me? That's just because I was the most cute girl in our grade, right?
No. They hated you because you excused everything you did to others by being cute and innocent. You were the type of girl that would put others down just to make yourself look better, and then turn around and act like you never did anything hurtful. That's why you barely had any friends back then, right?
I never did that.
Well, can't we use what you tried doing to me this time as an example of that? You wanted to make me feel terrible, also that you could be happy and feel as though you came out on top. You really love laughing in other people's faces when they are in a painful situation, don't you? You really had to lie through your teeth last time when you said you didn't hold anything against me anymore.
I know that. Wait, about this place. The restaurant that I reserved for everyone. They're telling me I can't cancel the reservation anymore. So can you have everyone move over to this restaurant and come join me?
You have no right to be asking me something like that now. You thought after what you did, I'd just be nice to you again? You wanted to destroy my bar, didn't you? Huh?
I get that, but I'm over it now. They just gave me the bill for the 70 people they're expecting to serve soon. I can't pay for all of this. So the only thing I can do now is have you send them all over to this place for the reunion.
That's not happening. Most of them won't even come where you were to ask them right now. Nobody here is going to help you take responsibility for something you did to yourself.
Don't say things like that. I'm telling you, I can't pay for 70 people's courses meal by myself. Hey, please just help me out here. Tell them to come over and eat here, please.
What the hell do you think you're saying? You were just talking about taking down my bar. Having to run a business is not some kind of game to me. Had I not known about your plans to ruin me, I'd be at a major loss right now and would probably have to think about selling the place. It's crazy to think that someone would actually want to cancel last minute like that, right after I've already started making food and everything for 70 people.
But I told you already, I won't ever do anything like that again. But making me have to take responsibility for all of this is not fair to me.
So you learned from this already? Then, when are you going to get around to saying you're sorry? I haven't heard I'm sorry from you this whole time.
Well, I'm sorry. I promise to never do anything like this again. So can you please help me out of this mess now?
Of course you'll never do anything like this again, because there will never be another chance for you. This time, everyone was more than willing to change plans to come to my bar. And the next time we have a reunion, you're not going to be invited. It looks to me like a lot of people from our class don't like you at all.
Don't say things like that. Please, if you don't do anything to help me, then I'm going to be stuck paying $7,000. I can't pay that kind of money, so do something.
I don't care. You started all of this yourself, so you figure a way out of it yourself, you freaking idiot.
Please, don't say that to me. Right now I have no clue what to do. You already told me that Connor hates my guts, and now I have to pay this kind of money? Also, I just had to hear about how Connor is already married.
Shut the hell up and quit that whining. You've been doing things that make people hate you ever since school. So stop acting like you ever had a chance with a man, when that chance was burned long ago.
All right, I'm sorry, all right? So please, do something to help me out.
Right now, I'm having a really good time talking to everyone I haven't seen in so long while making food and drinks. I don't have time to talk to you anymore, as I have this reunion to focus on, so I'm leaving now. Thank you for getting this large amount of people into my bar. That's the one kind thing you've ever done for me. Now that you've gone and lost both your money and the man of your dreams, you can go and get a taste of hell. After that, I went ahead and completely blocked Trudy's phone number and never had to hear another word from her again. Also, it turns out that Trudy never even knew where my bar was located, so I never had to have her coming in here after that. I understand now that this time Trudy wanted all of the people from our class to go and have a reunion at that restaurant without me. But after they all learned of her bad intentions towards me, she lost her chance and only made everyone hate her even more. Just like myself, a lot of the others ended up blocking her number as well, including Connor. As for myself, I was able to run into Matt again, and we talked all night long, even after the reunion had ended, and I was cleaning up the bar. And not too long after that day, him and I decided we wanted to get married, and it'll only be a matter of time until we two have kids that can go over and play with Connors. In the end, Trudy had to pay that restaurant the $7,000 they had billed her for, and after losing both her money and her mental sanity, she was on a road to clear destruction. She had actually tried running from the restaurant instead of paying them, but they had already called the police because they could tell she wasn't wanting to pay what they were billing her. So the moment she ran out the door, 2 officers grabbed her and carried her right back inside to have her pull out her credit card and pay. It was either that, or she'd be going to jail for the night and have to fight the restaurant in court over a bill that large. But she made the right choice to pay up, and will now have to spend the next couple of years of her life trying to pay for that, and living with the now known fact that everyone from school really does hate her. Now, let's be honest here though. All of that was well deserved on her part, and I hope she's not going to make any more stupid decisions from now on. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
And that was all the people that were reporting that Sean was harassing them. They all reported earlier today. Also, I've gathered all of the signatures from them asking for his immediate resignation.
I really don't believe it, still, that this piece of work was working here, in our offices. I understand now the severity of the situation. Thank you for reporting everything back to me and getting me up to speed with everything.
Yes, sir, of course. There are some people who are still saying that they haven't been compensated for any of the money that was scammed. Apparently, there were several female employees that were also being sexually harassed. He was also caught yelling obscenities towards many of them.
I'm so sorry about all of this. If only I was more alert and aware of what was going on in my office.
You were overseas taking care of business, sir. It's not going to be easy or even realistic for you to have complete oversight of our office. It really can't be helped at all. To add to all of that, I was the one that hired him while I was working as interim president while you were away. I'm also responsible for hiring him, so it's not only your fault or responsibility. He was actually the son of Howard and Sons Incorporated, so it kinda helps him out, if you understand, sir.
Ah, so he basically had connections higher up, I understand. Yes, sir. At the time, Howard and Sons was one of our big-time clients, so I couldn't really turn that down.
I mean, they're out of business now, so I guess none of it really matters at all, but...
I see. So they went out of business, but Sean, who used those connections, ended up staying in our workplace. Now it all kind of makes sense.
I am so sorry, sir. It was my fault and it is my responsibility, considering I hired him and I was unable to realize what kind of person he was behind the scenes in the office.
You may have been acting president at the time, but I'm the president of the company, no matter how you put it. I was definitely responsible for letting my own employees work in an environment that they were clearly uncomfortable in. There were also employees that have taken off as a result of this, right?
Yes, sir. The reason that I started gathering these signatures in the office was because those employees started saying that they needed to take a break from the workplace. They are currently going to counseling and recovering at home. If possible, it would be nice for you to show up and tell the employees that you're with us and on our side.
Of course, I'll be sure to swing by and talk to everyone about all of this. It's Sean from sales and marketing, right? I'll be sure to take care of it as soon as I'm able to. I'm already sending out some emails. I'm not sure I'll be able to fire him immediately, but I'll be sure to make as many arrangements as I can to make things right.
Yes, sir. We would all greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for your swift response. However, right now, I would really like you to focus on your business meeting today with Johnson's Industrial. Don't worry too much about our situation, as you've done everything you can do about it at the moment.
Yeah, of course. I can't miss this appointment with them. This is a huge deal for us. You already contacted the bar, right? That we would be going there?
Yes, sir. I've let them know that you'll be arriving with the Johnson's industrial people at around 7 p.m. I've reserved the VIP seats for you.
Thank you so much for taking care of everything for me, John. This company is doing as good as it is because you are around to take care of everything. None of this would be possible without you. I really want to thank you for everything you've done for me and the company while I was away and you were acting president.
Don't mention it, sir. I only did what I could as your right-hand man. Anyways, sir, good luck tonight and Godspeed. I'm sure you'll do great things, sir.
Yeah, leave it to me. I got this.
Hey, you! Don't be ignoring me, you little piece of shit! I'm literally talking to you right now. You better answer.
To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Whom do you have the pleasure of speaking to? Do you seriously not know who the hell you're talking to right now? You're just some low-life sales rep.
Low-life sales rep? Oh, are you someone from Johnson's Industrial, or am I mistaken?
What? Who or what the hell is Johnson's Industrial? Don't bring up that shitty trash company that no one's ever heard of, moron. You're just some low-life sales rep. You don't even remember what I look like? What the hell is wrong with you, you stupid or something?
I think that you are mistaking me for someone else. Positive, actually.
What? You trying to make excuses like that? You always do this kind of crap? You must be a shitty employee who always runs away from his responsibilities and is useless, huh? Doesn't contribute anything to the company? I mean, you work at a literal factory, so I'm sure there's not much brain activity going on there.
Like I said earlier, sir, I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
You're some shitty sales rep, right? You better take care of all the bills for me.
Excuse me, what do you mean?
This is part of our arrangement. I'm your client. You need to make sure that you make the client get the best treatment possible, right? I mean, I have enough money to pay for everyone in this bar right now, and I'm still gonna have plenty of change left over for the night, but today is supposed to be a special day where the shitty sales reps will pick up the tab, so I'm going to be partying all night, baby. Let's go!
Excuse me, but I'm not able to do that kind of service for you. I really don't do that kind of thing of business trips. Actually, I really need to bring the whole thing back to the fact that I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
How long are you gonna be lying through your teeth like that? No one believes your lies. Come on, you need to drink up too. You're gonna be paying anyway, so if you don't drink, you're gonna be missing out on a great time.
No, I'm not gonna be paying for anything, and I don't need to drink either. No, thank you. I didn't come here to play around. I'm here for business only.
This is a high-class bar. It's literally where you're supposed to drink a lot. I feel like you're not supposed to be here anyway. You're just some shitty sales rep. Oh, wait, hang on. Did you get lost or something? You weren't even supposed to be here, were you?
You're starting to get on my...
Let me just tell you, I really don't know how someone who hasn't worked hard a single day in his life found a job. And somehow you end up in this place where only the real and elite adults come to hang out. You don't belong here. Let me explain something to you. This is a high-class bar, and only the most elite of the elites are able to come here to hang out. I need you to pay for the damages for having trash like you show up in a high-class place like this.
How much of an asshole can this guy be? Who even is this person? How'd he get my number? I'm gonna have to leave now because my business partners will be arriving soon to talk about our future business together. Excuse me.
You better pick up my tab.
Excuse me, what the hell are you thinking?
No, what the hell are you thinking? Why the hell are you in the VIP seats? This is not a place where shitty sales reps like you are able to sit in. Do you understand? It's reserved for the classiest and elite members of society.
This has nothing to do with you, does it? I'm working here. I'm having business meetings right now. Please stop getting between us and interrupting our meetings right now.
I see. You gotta work hard because you're just some low-life sales rep, right? Good luck, idiot. The guy you were talking to, that old idiot, he looked pretty poor and low, too. What is this, some kind of connection between terrible company A and terrible company B? What a shitty combo.
What? That elderly gentleman is the key person of Johnson's Industrial.
Oh my god, stop bringing up that stupid company's name. I don't know about it. You really need to rethink your priorities too. You need to be talking business with me and not that old guy.
I really don't know what you're talking about or who you are. What is your name again?
Oh my god, you really don't remember, do you? I'm one of your clients that brings you massive amounts of business. I'm from N&S Securities. My name's Sean.
Sean from NNN Securities. Wait a second. Are you from the sales and marketing department? That's Sean?
Yeah, I'm from sales and marketing. You finally remember who you're talking to? The other day I went to a factory to check out what that was, and I saw you walking around with a dinky little helmet, working. And I even said hello to you. I was with the manager at the time though, so I guess I was treating you with so much respect.
You're Sean, I see. Now I'm really understanding why people are starting to take off work. If this piece of shit was working in my office, I'd want to take off too.
What the hell are you talking about right now? You're just a low-life sales rep, so you better start talking to me with some respect, you understand? Oh man, I'm so lucky to stumble into one of you low-life employees though. This could have been so annoying if you weren't around. You better spend the company money that I spent this time around as part of our business meeting. I think the tab is at around $5,000 right now.
Are you telling me all this while knowing who I am? I'm literally the president of your company.
Hang on, what?
Just so you know, Sean, I think that you've made a very, very, very grave mistake. And this was one mistake you'll remember for the rest of your life. I'm the president and acting CEO of the company that you're currently employed at.
What? You're the president of N&N Securities? Great joke, idiot. You must be high or drunk, maybe both. There's not a chance in hell that you're the CEO. The name of the CEO at our company here at N&S Securities is a guy called John, not David.
John was looking after the company as interim president. You know, while I was away overseas for 2 years because I had work.
What? The interim president? Oh, wait, I think I remember hearing about something like that. Hang on.
If you want, you can contact John and check up on it. I'll be waiting here while you do that. Ask him about the business meeting that I'm conducting industrial at this bar that we are currently at right now. He knows all about it. You can even check our homepage. Have you ever even opened our company webpage? If you go to the corporate introductions page, you'll see my face and my title listed as the president of the company.
Oh shit, it's true! So, you're seriously the president of our company? You're not lying at all?
I've been saying that I am for the past hour. Are you deaf?
I'm so sorry, sir. I really did just make an honest mistake. Please forgive me. I just didn't know that you were the CEO of our company. If only I had just known.
Yeah, the problem here isn't that I'm the CEO and you didn't know about it. It was your shitty attitude.
No, sir. I really, I thought that you were some low-life employee that worked at the factory. Can you please tell me why you, the president, was at the factory where all the low-level employees worked?
First off, I don't think that they're low-level employees. They're key players in a functioning company. They're all equally important for this company to run smoothly and operate with no hiccups at all. We're all what you might call a team. That would explain why I was at the factory to help out and check up on things. And why I would help when I could.
Seriously? No way, it's totally a trap. It's entrapment. If you're wearing a helmet and the uniform while working at the factory, I'm gonna think that you're a factory worker and not corporate.
Like I said a second ago, even if I were a factory worker or a sales rep, your actions and language are the problem. None of what you said was acceptable or will be tolerated.
What? Hang on a second. Are you going to fire me? You're not gonna terminate my contract, are you? Why, hang on a second. This all happened outside the company hours, right? This wasn't while we were working. While I'm working at the office, I would never act or behave this way like I did a second ago. I'm able to really distinguish leisure from professional workplace.
So in other words, you want me to forgive you because we aren't working right now, And that you're off the clock.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It wouldn't make sense or be fair at all that you're firing me for what happened outside the workplace, right?
Yeah, I guess, but I told you a second ago too. I'm currently at a business meeting with a very, very important client of ours at the moment. In other words, I'm currently working right now. I'm on the clock. This whole thing, it happened while I was on the clock.
No, I mean, maybe you're on the clock, but I'm not.
To make things worse, you're pretty damned rude to our guests, were you not? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about either. Right now, we're working on projects that will be moving around tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. That's how big this is. And in order for all of this money to flow right into our pockets, I need the cooperation from Johnson's Industrial. I need them to be on our side.
I see. I didn't know that, sir. I really hope it all works out for you tonight.
I really hope that it all works out for me tonight. Excuse me, you realize that the clients have been complaining to me ever since they interacted with you. They're telling me that they've had one of the worst nights of their lives thanks to you.
But...
Of course having a terrible time. You just show up out of nowhere and start spewing crap like, look at these shitty companies working together, how adorable. They're going to go back now instead of finishing our business meeting because they have been insulted and are upset. I don't even know if they're going to sign the contract with us anymore. I want to be able to explain to them that some random drunk person started talking to us out of the blue, but unfortunately, you're definitely one of ours. I really can't be making up any kind of excuses for your actions at all. You've really screwed us over on this one. This is a royal screw-up on your end. You think you're just going to get fired? You better be ready for a lawsuit, buddy, because we're coming for damages and then some.
No, wait, just hang on a second, sir. Don't get too rash on me. This was all kind of an accident, you know? I wasn't really being intentional, and it all just kind of happened. If I had known that this was our company's greatest project being worked on tonight, I never would have intervened or tried to get between you two. I don't even know about that company. What was the name again? Jason's Industrial or something?
It's literally the greatest and biggest company in the industrial scene. What the hell are you doing at work that allows you to somehow work without knowing who these gentlemen are and what company they work for? I'm done with this. I don't see how you're remorseful at all for any of your actions. You're fired!
Hang on just a second, sir. I've worked really hard and diligently at work. I'm being serious. Tonight, I just kind of let things go a bit too far because I had too much to drink and,
You're a hard worker, huh? You're diligent. You're telling the truth and being honest about all of that, right?
Of course I'm being honest and all of that. I'm seriously a career-oriented workaholic. I work hard every day that I show up in the office.
Okay, take a look at this and explain to me what's going on.
Wait, what is this? I don't...
This is a whole list of employees at the sales department of our company that are claiming that they have received harassment and other unacceptable behavior from you. They're all signing this form that is asking for your immediate termination from this company. Every single person who works in our sales and accounting department has signed this document.
What? Every single person? You gotta be making all this up, right?
Do you really think that someone who works hard every day they show up at work would have every single co-worker in their department sign a document that is asking for his resignation? All of the employees are considering bringing you to court to try to get you to pay for all of the damages that you have done to them.
What? But, I mean, come on! Sometimes you really gotta tighten the leash on these guys to teach them a lesson. You just can't be nice and kind to all of them.
So forcing female employees to go on dates with you is somehow teaching them a lesson. Explain that to me. You really need to stop coming up with shitty excuses. Cut the shit and start being real with me, Sean. There are people who have become mentally ill because of what you've done to them, do you understand? They've stopped coming to work because of you.
That's just because they're all too weak. That's not my fault at all.
I'm over this. We have already figured out how we're going to sue you for a lot of damages and compensation for all of the money you cost us. You're also going to be fired for sure. Right now, though, you need to be thinking about what you're going to do about the store.
What? What are you talking about, the store, sir?
You know, the $5,000 that you spent thinking that you would be able to make me pay for your tab. That's a little problem. You're going to be paying for it on your own, just so we're clear. I'm not going to be helping you, and you're not going to be able to use a company card.
No! I don't have $5,000, though. That's so much money!
Okay, then use your credit card or something. I don't care, but just take care of it on your own. Maybe you don't know this, but we actually own this bar. You will be paying for your tab tonight, one way or another.
But...
Also, there are quite a few customers who were irritated or otherwise insulted by your presence and behavior. What do you say, Sean? How about you pick up the tab for everyone as a sorry for starters, huh? That'd be really helping everyone out and making things right.
What? But I don't have that much money. How am I supposed to pick up the tab for everyone?
Why not? You literally told me a second ago, though. You said that you could pay for everyone in this bar and still have a lot of money left over. Sean was then blamed for everything that was going on in the bar that was considered rude and promised to pay for everyone in the bar. The tab cost him upwards of $50,000, and he was forced to go to a nearby ATM to pull out his entire life savings to pay for everyone in the bar. It was a great thing that he did that, and it was definitely a gutsy move, but it has nothing to do with his job. I fired him, just like I said I would, and sued him for all of the damages that he had caused because of his behavior at the club, along with all of the employees who were unable to show up to work because of his behavior. To add to that and make things worse, all of the employees filed a class action lawsuit against him for everything that he had done to them. He was forced to pay over $200,000, so he had to take out loans to pay all of that off. He would be in debt for a while. News of this debacle quickly spread across the whole industry. It would be very difficult for him to find another job, so he ran away to his parents' home for a while. But because his parents' company had already gone under, like I said before, he wouldn't be able to just stay in their house. The ex-CEO of his family company actually chased him out of the house. He wasn't able to do anything about it and had to leave. Right now, he is running away from all of the loan and debt collectors while trying to find jobs to pay them off. After Sean left, the sales and accounting department at work was able to finally work in peace again with a nice workplace environment. All of the employees who were taking off work were able to come back to the office after several months of counseling and R&R. Currently, every single employee is working peacefully toward a better tomorrow. Oh, and just to be clear, Johnson's Industrial decided on a later day that they would be alright to go through with the deal and sign the contract with N&N Securities. They are working hand in hand with the right-hand man, John, to make things go smoothly and do great things.
I'm looking forward to meeting your parents tomorrow. I hope you're as excited as I am. It appears that April's parents have gotten us all a reservation at a wine and charcuterie bar, so that's where we'll be heading.
That's what I've heard from her. Sounds good. I'm really looking forward to being able to meet everyone in the family tomorrow. This will be my first time meeting April in person as well, so I really can't wait.
I'm sorry that things never lined up well enough to allow you to meet with April sooner. Now we are already so close to our marriage, and you'll only be getting your first look at her. But we did only choose to get married a few weeks ago, so there wasn't much time anyway. Even her parents haven't had much time to meet me, and we've only had the opportunity to talk over the phone.
It's no problem at all. Our family's always been on our toes waiting for the next thing to happen, and have never really been good at getting things over with until the last minute. And after all the strikeouts before, like that last time, I'd say I'm getting kind of used to having my hopes let down.
Right, but I haven't brought any of that up with her family yet. I was thinking that tomorrow would be a good time for that, in person, as they might have a better understanding of us then, and not get too upset about it.
Well, as long as everything goes well around that, then I'm fine. I don't want to see my favorite son ending up on the wrong side of things anymore, okay? You've already had your heart broken enough, and it pains me to see it happen over and over again.
I don't really want to be in that position anymore either. I really do think that this time will be alright. And if you didn't already know, April's parents work for the bank. So there should be no problem this time, like we had all those other times.
Oh, is that right? Well, that just means they most likely don't struggle too much with money then.
I think they all ended up with quite a large amount of wealth in their family. It appears that both her father and brother work for very famous banks, and her mother happened to work for one before she got married to her husband.
That sounds about right. Then it doesn't seem like things will turn out the same as they did before.
I just got a message from April a second ago. Apparently, her mother's asking to have your number to talk with you.
Her mother wants my number? We are all supposed to be meeting tomorrow, so I wonder why she'd want to talk with me right now.
I believe she has something she'd like to talk with you about before tomorrow. Hence, her asking to speak with you now. Is that alright?
That's fine with me, but I'm trying to find a good reason for why she'd want to talk with me the day before our event, and at this time of the evening. Well, it'll be all right. You can go ahead and tell her my phone number. Hello, my name is Helen, and I'm April's mother. I assume I'm speaking with Bart's mother, Karen, correct? Hello, and nice to meet you, Helen. Thank you so much for taking good care of my son. It is a bit unfortunate that we all must meet at such late timing as tomorrow, but I am really looking forward to both meeting his fiancée for the first time in person as well as her parents. I'm going to get this off my plate right now. Is it true that you are a single mother to Bart? Excuse me? Well, that is true, but what does that have to do with anything? What ended up happening to your husband? I understand that what I'm asking may be upsetting you a little bit, but it's very important that my family knows the truth. I'm a bit surprised that you are asking such personal questions already, even though we've not formally met in person yet. Well, as for what happened with my ex-husband, the two of us got a divorce. So that's what's led you to this point? Yes, that's correct, but... Then tell me, Karen, why did your son Bart not end up going with his father in the divorce? Helen, can you please tell me first why you're asking such questions at this time? I'm just a bit suspicious of you is all. As far as this world is aware, families of single mother households have always been known to be very poor. Now tell me, what happened with Bart's father? Does this mean that his father knew of him being poor and that's why he threw the both of you away and ran off? Did you ask for your son to grow up in a poor and unhappy household? That must make you a terrible mother, correct? I'm not really sure what you're trying to say to me, but there were a lot of things that led up to the divorce between my ex and I. And since you and I have not yet met in person yet, I don't feel obligated to tell you anything more than I already have about such private matters over the phone. But your son is getting married to my daughter, right? We are going to become family very soon, so I'd really like to know what she's getting herself into. I can understand your concern, but can you please wait until tomorrow? I'm sure that you don't need to know all the details at this exact moment, right? Listen, Karen, I only just learned about Bart living in a single mother's household just yesterday. Okay. And it seems as though even my daughter wasn't made aware of that until only recently. So now, since we will finally be meeting you in person, Bart was kind enough to let my daughter know, and she let me know. Now, I have to say, my family is a family of bankers, all right? And we really hope that our daughter's husband and family will be of that same status in this society. Yet my ears have had the misfortune of hearing that Bart comes from a fatherless and poor home. What? Poor? Helen, I have this slight feeling that you are using that word too freely to describe my family currently. You think so? Well, I'm only using it to describe your current state, right? This is why I'm currently talking with my husband about this whole situation. We have to be sure whether it's really okay to let our daughter marry a man like your son. Well, before you begin to judge him based off of myself, take a closer look at him and make that decision. If the both of them look happy together, then that should be good enough to let you guys agree with the marriage, right? My daughter is a very intelligent woman. So, when choosing someone to call her boyfriend, her fiancé, and perhaps someday her husband, she made sure to look into their work and income. But having to hear that his mother is a woman of no wealth that lives day and night having to eat scraps is something none of us expected. Hold on for 1 second. You think that I am so poor that I need to rely on scraps of food to stay alive? What the heck is that all about? In a household with only a single mother as the parent, the money most often goes to you instead of towards raising your kids, correct? And right now we are worried that with you becoming a part of our family, you will only want more and more money since you cannot obtain it yourself. You'll all be fine. You do not have to worry about such a ridiculous thing. Now, if you continue to say such rude things about me, our meeting tomorrow in person might have to be postponed or canceled. So to avoid such a thing, I'll be going now. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Is that right? Then I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I was also looking forward to this meeting with a lot of energy, but now I am a bit concerned for what's to come next. Where have you run off to, Karen? Don't tell me you've already gone home now. Did I really say or do anything that rude to you? Did I end up damaging what little pride you already had or something? Say something rude to me? It wasn't close to such a level. However, I decided to come to this wine bar today to enjoy a meeting with my son's fiancée and her family. Yet, as I walked in to have a seat with you all, you stated that someone of my class shouldn't be in such a fine establishment. And that was your reasoning for not getting me a seat at your table? And then you ended things by asking me to stand, as I do not have the money to take a seat. Now that was actually quite rude of you. Do you think all of that was okay? I just assumed someone of your likes wouldn't mind standing and eating today. You should be thankful that you're allowed to come in and enjoy fine wine and fancy food with the rest of the family, right? Had you just stood there and ate your food, we wouldn't have minded having you at our table for talks. You really have no limits. I had no need to stand there and look like a fool in front of you all. You thought it was acceptable of you to make me look like an idiot and use that as an excuse to laugh at me? You all are really the worst family in this city. Well, you already knew something like this was coming, right? I'm sure it's happened to you plenty of times before, considering you're a single mother with no money that had to raise a child. Now I chose not to give you a seat because you don't have the money to afford one, so stand and enjoy the food. I'm going home then. Goodbye forever. I am certain that your actions will soon lead you to becoming very regretful of them, and not just you, but also your husband. Where are you right now, Karen? What was that? I don't really understand why you're asking me that now, of all times. I remember telling you only an hour ago that I was heading home and would most definitely not be coming back, right? Well, my husband just received a call from the bank a few moments ago. You did something, and I want to know what the hell it was. It's so sad that you happened to see me as someone with no wealth, even though that was clearly, and still is clearly, not the case. What? I happen to be the daughter of a millionaire. And with the money I had from my parents, I was able to afford plenty of businesses, which I now run. So, to you, that idea of me being a poor person was really far off the mark, and I'm sure you're surprised to hear that, correct? Hold on, you! What are you talking about? You were once the daughter of a millionaire, and now you run your own businesses? That would be the reason why your husband is currently being contacted by the bank, right? They must have heard that my companies will be pulling all their money out of your husband's bank, and that's why they are trying to get an understanding of the situation from your husband now. What? So that's why they all started to call my husband and everyone on the other end of the line were pissed at him? My husband is all flustered right now and is getting up to head straight to the bank. He told me he had to go because of you pulling out all that money from his bank. Why does my husband have to be involved in this? Did you know that before both you and I met, I had already learned all about your family and what you all do for a living? What? You're talking about my family, right? That's right. Your daughter happens to be a very important person to my son, after all. And so he asked me to take a good look into her and the rest of her family to see what you all are up to. And that's how I learned that your husband and son both work for the banks, and one that I'm a part of. And this was all too easy for me to figure out, considering all my businesses use the banks your husband and son are a part of, and have been with them for a very long time now. All too easy? What is? You already know, right? Getting my revenge. Revenge? Are you talking about for what just happened at the wine bar? Are you that upset over something as basic as me not getting you a seat there? However, both you and your husband happen to be running like chickens with no heads, correct? To a bank as large as the one your husband works for, something like that is a very naughty thing to do to one of the partners there. I'm sure your husband is well aware now that his fate has most likely already been decided within that bank. You mean he'll be fired? You're lying, right? There's no way they'd fire him. He's been working for that bank for over 30 years now and is a big player in getting them new customers and partners. And I'm sure he didn't expect this to be the way things ended for him, right? And this isn't all, Helen. What else is there? Because this was all the fault of him and his wife, the bank will most likely be asking for reparations from him in some way for the major damage to them. Ask for reparations from us? Why us? I told you that it's because of your husband and your behavior that I just had my companies pull all their money out of your husband's bank. It's because of the both of you that the bank is now going to be in some seriously hot waters. What? We're the ones at fault for this? I told you how that all has happened just a second ago, and how it links to the both of your actions. Well, it's not like the two of us ever knew that you had that kind of money. Everyone already knows that a single mother household is always without any money and has to live off the scraps that fall from us rich people's hands. Why did you never say anything to me about this sooner? Not even Bart told us anything. There have been a lot of people in Bart's past that have only wanted to marry him for his money. So we've learned to not talk as much about our family and our wealth right off the bat, and instead wait to hear from the other party first. His past fiancé only wanted the money in his family. That's your reason for never telling us? You can't be holding secrets like that from people. Well, that's the only reason for it, so tell me why you're thinking I'm the one that did something wrong here. I'll tell you straight. All my son and I are two very rich people. And we never thought that you and your husband would find us both to be living in poverty. However, you thought that just because I don't have a husband, right? Well, had you just told me that you were the CEO or something, I would have never had the wrong idea about you being a single mother. Can't you see you're to blame for not ever telling me about yourself? You asked me the other day what happened to cause the divorce, right? Well, we ended up getting that divorce because we are both two very different people. But as of right now, we both still get to see our son when we want to. And as of right now, Bart still sees my ex-husband as his father, and his father sees him as his son. Right now, he's just been overseas for some time operating a very large company. I never told you that before, though, did I? I never heard that from you. It's because of you never telling us all these important details that my husband is going to have his head on the chopping block. Are you not even worried about my family right now? What are you talking about, Helen? We were supposed to meet to talk to one another and discuss our children's marriage. However, you never reserved me a seat. And then you told me the reason for that was because you taught me being a single mother meant that I was poor. And then laughed at me, telling me to stand and eat. That was all you, right? That to me seems like you never got rid of your immature middle school behavior. I guess I did say and do all of that to you at some point. But I wasn't doing it to be mean to you or anything. Doing something as pathetic as that while laughing with your family as I stood there humiliated? You all are such children that I could see there was no point to talking with you anymore. All I gained from that meeting was the knowledge to not let my son marry your daughter. And as for the money that I've pulled from your husband's bank, I'm allowed to put it anywhere I please, right? I never meant to make you do something so crazy as that, though. It was all just meant to be a joke. A joke, huh? Let me tell you that when you try to tell a joke, you need to be a bit more lighthearted about it. That means none of that hateful speech and tone should be going into it. Well, you really did it this time, Helen, and now your family is going to pay the price for it dearly. And my son is telling me that he no longer wants anything to do with a family like yours. I believe April and Bart being engaged is no longer a thing. Huh? Bart doesn't want her anymore? He just had to witness your family making fun of me right before his very eyes. So I don't blame him for no longer wanting your daughter. I guess you'll get to have your unemployed daughter back now after all that. And not only are you and her unemployed, but so will your husband be here soon, and maybe even your son. And then all four of you can be a poor and jobless family with no use to our society. Am I right? Well, this is all you deserve after how you treated me, so there was no avoiding this. I'm sorry, Karen. I can see now that everything I did to you was wrong. Do you think we can start everything over again and get back to getting to know one another? I know that my misunderstanding is the reason for all this, but no thank you. There are no more chances for you now, Helen. All of you jobless lowlives can band together now and try to find a way out of that mess. And tell me, who are the real poor people after today? In the end, Helen, her husband, and April all tried their hardest to apologize to Karen for what they'd done, but Karen ignored all of them as though they were nothing more than ants. And after that, Helen's husband lost his job at the bank and was no longer able to consider himself a wealthy banker. He had tried so hard to plead his case to the owners of the bank, but when they told him he had crossed the line making fun of one of their biggest partners, they had no choice but to get rid of him. They also stated to him that due to all of the money his family actions cost the bank, he would be taken to court and have to pay a reparation to the bank. And when it came to the kids, the marriage between April and Bart was also canceled, and the money that was owed to the bank by her family was paid for with all their savings. When the news of that court case got out regarding said money being paid after the actions of the family, April's brother then lost his job at the bank he worked for. And the reasoning was to prevent future issues that might occur with him. So, as of right now, that family is left with nothing to do but cry and whine about what's happened. And if they ever plan on finding new jobs again, they might want to settle with something outside the world of money, as no bank or financial institution would want to hire them now. I believe all of this was a very good lesson for them, that picking on someone you have no idea about can for sure bite you in the butt before you realize it.